Princess Leonor's arrival in Denmark stuns royal fans from Spain. They expected formality. They expected tradition. They expected a quiet royal visit. But what they saw left them speechless. Princess Leonor's arrival in Denmark has stunned everyone. Spain is in shock. Denmark is in awe. And the world is paying attention. For weeks, rumors swirled about Leonor's first official arrival abroad as Spain's future queen. Would it be subtle? Would it be ceremonial? Would she step carefully, in the shadow of her parents? No one was prepared for the presence she carried as she set foot in Denmark. From the moment the plane door opened, the cameras clicked endlessly. Dressed in elegance that mixed Spanish grace with a touch of modern boldness, Leonor radiated confidence. The Spanish heir had arrived, not as a child of tradition, but as a leader ready to take her place on the global stage. Crowds gathered outside the palace in Copenhagen. Some carried Spanish flags, others Danish. A few even shouted her name, their voices filled with excitement. And yet, what truly stunned the onlookers was not the ceremony itself. It was Leonor herself, her composure, her maturity, her ability to command attention without speaking a single word. Spain watched from afar, heart swelling with pride and, for some, disbelief. For years, Leonor had been the young girl standing beside her parents. Quiet, reserved, growing into her role step by step. But here, in Denmark, she emerged transformed. The heir no longer waiting in the wings, but stepping boldly into the spotlight. The symbolism was powerful. Denmark, itself a monarchy with deep royal traditions, opened its doors to Spain's future queen. The visit carried political weight, cultural meaning, and personal significance. Two royal houses, bound by history, now sharing the stage of the present. But it wasn't just politics. It was the emotion of the moment. The sight of Leonor standing with Denmark's royals, graceful, poised, dignified, spoke volumes to those watching. Royal fans from Spain, who had traveled to witness the visit, were seen with tears in their eyes. To them, this wasn't just a diplomatic mission. It was the unfolding of destiny. The Spanish press erupted immediately. Headlines screamed of her elegance, her maturity, her transformation into a global figure. Social media overflowed with images and clips of her arrival. La Reina del Futuro, some wrote. The future queen has arrived. But beneath the celebration lay another question: why Denmark? Why now? What message was Spain's royal house sending by allowing Leonor's first significant international moment to take place here? The answer may lie in the quiet ties between monarchies. Denmark's royals have long been admired for balancing tradition with accessibility, formality with warmth. Perhaps Spain wanted Leonor to be seen in that same light. Perhaps this visit was more than a gesture. Perhaps it was a signal of how Leonor intends to rule. And yet, not everyone agrees. Critics in Spain have voiced concerns. Was this too much, too soon? Should Leonor wait until she takes the throne before stepping so boldly into the international arena? Some fear her presence will overshadow her father, King Felipe. Others argue the opposite, that it shows Spain is preparing, gradually but firmly, for its next monarch. Inside Denmark, however, there was no doubt. Leonor was welcomed warmly, treated with the dignity of a future queen. Every detail of the visit was carefully arranged, the guards in their uniforms, the carriages, the flags lining the streets. Yet even with all the preparation, no one could have predicted the effect her presence would have. It was not just the Spanish who were stunned. Danish citizens themselves, used to seeing their own royals, found themselves watching Leonor with fascination. She represented both continuity and change. The old Europe of monarchies, and the new Europe of young leaders. As she walked through Copenhagen, flanked by Danish royals, she carried herself not as a guest, but as an equal. Her smile was soft, but her gaze steady. Every step seemed deliberate, every gesture intentional. She was speaking without words, declaring, "I am ready." Spanish fans who had traveled to Denmark waved banners with her name. Some called out blessings. A few even sang. For them, the journey was worth it. They had not just witnessed a royal visit, they had witnessed a turning point. Their princess, the girl they had seen grow up, now stepping into her future before their very eyes. And yet, for Leonor, this was not just spectacle. It was responsibility. Every moment was captured. Every choice analyzed. Her attire, her movements, her interactions, all dissected by press and public alike. Such is the weight of royalty. And still, she carried it effortlessly. The Spanish royal household, usually cautious, released only a brief statement. They praised the significance of the visit, highlighting cultural ties, cooperation, and friendship. But even in their careful words, it was clear, they knew the impact. They knew Leonor had captured the world's attention. What happens next? That is the question. Will this visit mark the beginning of Leonor's international role as future queen? Will it open doors to further alliances, further diplomacy, further visibility? Or will it spark new debates back home about her readiness, her independence, her place in Spain's monarchy? One thing is certain, Spain's royal fans will never forget this moment. To them, Leonor's arrival in Denmark was more than stunning. It was historic. It was the day their princess showed she was not just Spain's heir, but a figure who could stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's royals. Imagine being in that crowd. The carriage rolling past, the sound of hooves on stone, the waving flags, and then, her, the future queen, smiling, radiant, waving back. A moment where time seemed to pause. A moment that carried both pride and possibility. And so the story spreads. Across Spain, across Denmark, across Europe, across the world, Princess Leonor has arrived, not just in Denmark, but in history itself. This is why fans are stunned. This is why headlines scream. This is why hearts beat faster. Because in one arrival, one visit, one breathtaking appearance, the future has revealed itself. Princess Leonor's arrival in Denmark has stunned royal fans from Spain. And nothing, after this, will ever be the same.